I think, I mean, it started off very different, but it ended up being heavily influenced by the rhythms of the Americas, from New York all the way through Nashville, New Orleans.
Originally, it was going to be just samba, really, wasn't it? That was
the idea, yeah.
First, because initially it was going to just be samba covers. That's where we started with the Heads High thing. We were going to do All Night Long, which we tried to do,
Yeah.
and it just sounded terrible. So
It could have been lovely.
It could have worked. So we had lots of ideas for different covers, and then I was also going to do a 0 dB track, and there's a few things, an old track of mine we were going to do, and then we just came up with loads of ideas, I suppose.
We spent a lot of time together anyway, playing with the Alice Russell band, so you're constantly sitting there just coming up with ideas, and after a while we kind of thought, why do we need to do loads of covers, because we've actually got hundreds of ideas anyway, and it's very easy to come up with ideas. So we kind of just, but it ended up being quite influenced by the American kind of music and the sort of go-go stuff of New York, and then the sort of swing stuff from New Orleans, which I'm very into, and then the sort of more samba kind of stuff from Brazil, Rio kind of carnival kind of music, and a bit of Cuban kind of rumba stuff in there as well. So it's quite a sort of diverse.
But it's just mainly percussion is the thing which is linked to it, I suppose. Is all the tracks we've started from the rhythm, and then put the melody on top, rather than starting with the melody. It's always been a basic kind of beat that we've gone for, and then thought, okay, what can we do to this melodically?
Yeah.
Even the Fortune Favours the Bold track, which is the most kind of funk, I suppose, and it's melodically driven, was still started from an actual groove, and then that kind of came on top. So
yeah, I mean it's very sparse, the album, even though there's hundreds of tracks of cowbells and shakers. It's kind of literally drums, horns, a little guitar riff, and then a bass line. Really, I mean, pretty much every song is kind of. We've tried to keep it quite simple and not have loads of keyboard solo. Oh no, you do play keyboards on that one. So.
There's a couple of little keyboard
bits,
but there's not like crazy kind of
no crazy arrangements, or it's basically sort of fun kind of percussion driven kind of music, really. Yeah, well basically it's called Botto and the Second Liners, or Bolto and the Second Liners. Basically it's, the album's kind of from two different worlds. It's kind of taken from the New Orleans sort of side of music, and also from the sort of samba kind of Rio kind of thing. So trying to think of a name that sort of combines the two. So the Boto stuff side of it is basically a pink river dolphin from the Amazon.
It's mythical.
It's a mythical.
I thought it was a dolphin man, isn't it?
No, he comes out the river in Brazil and turns into a man. It's a pink dolphin, and goes into the town and charms the ladies, and then brings all the ladies back into the river and gets them in the river and swims off them and stuff. So we kind of like that. Kind of reminded me of us too, you know. Yeah, being dolphins.
Kind of guys we are.
Yeah, exactly. And the Second Liners side of it is basically just the brass band sort of section of New Orleans music. When a person, a well-esteemed member of the society in New Orleans dies, they have a funeral procession through New Orleans, through the high streets and stuff. And you have the coffin going down with a parade behind it. You have the first liners, which are all family. Singing sweet hymns and sort of crying and being upset. And then about a mile up the road you've got the second liners, which are all the party band, big brass band.
And the celebration side of it.
The celebration side of it, yeah, and all the town folks will come out and follow them and have a big dance and a sort of a celebration of the person whose funeral it was. So we kind of thought bring those together, so Botto and the Second Liners. Basically one of the main sort of section is the horns. One of the big sort of part of the album is the horn section, and they're called the Killer Horns. I do these jam sessions in London called the Heads High Jam Sessions, and lots of different people from around London sort of turn up, all amazing players. And these horn sections, this keyboard player Jay turned up. A friend of mine, he was playing, and he'd just been doing a gig with Zarif. And so he sort of invited the horn section down, and they sort of turned up and started jamming, and I was just like, these guys are just brilliant, absolutely amazing. So got their numbers and stuff, and and before they know it, they're recording on everything, you know.
Yeah, Jack hooked them up, and then I remember I went to see them at Cargo playing with Zarif as well, and I was just like, yeah, these guys, they're just super tight together. So then yeah, we got them in for like 2 sessions, I think, and then from that I just got them on the new Alice Russell album as well that Jack's playing on as well, and we're doing like organising new sessions with them now.
They're so fast at working, it's ridiculous, you know.
And they're just into they've got the same outlook as we have. I think they're into the same kind of style, and it's like, I've worked with musicians before who are their kind of standard, but maybe don't have the same ideas of what you're looking for, and they're definitely on our musical wavelength, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
like, you can do it like this, and then bang, you create change and do it like this, and
you can sing it to them,
exciting.
or you can give them like horrible MIDI lines, and they'll do it either way. So.
Yeah. And then we've got JP, who's a percussionist, Irish guy. He's from some friends of mine that also do some jamming stuff with. He's a master of the Brazilian percussion and Cuban and African stuff. He's a real sort of amazing player.
And he's been like just a wealth of knowledge for us as well, because it's something that we're interested in and kind of understand it from a DJ point of view, like the kind of rhythm stuff, but not particularly breaking down the actual elements of saying, okay, you need this clave on this and this to get this
cowbell on that and this shaker on this thing. And
so yeah, he's really like helped understand, like, because we've come to him with say a sound and said, I need to recreate this kind of vibe. How do we actually do it authentically? And that's something that he's brought in as the authentic side of the rhythm. Whereas I think we probably would have done a kind of cover version of that sound, whereas he's helped us to get the actual.
He's kept it very traditional. He really likes his kind of tradition. We try.
He won't let us change a cowbell pattern if we said, are we doing this rhythm? And he's like, oh, you can't change it now. It's too late.
That's wrong. That's not what they're playing. The samba schools in Brazil. I'd be like, okay, you just do it your way. But he's brilliant, and he's been a real help for this project. And he's playing in the live band as well, as are the Killer Horns. Then who else? We've got a few singers on there. We've got
Alice Russell, who I work with, and Jack also plays in the band that we've toured for the last couple of years, 3 years.
More than that now, 5?
Yeah, 5 years maybe.
5 years.
So yeah, Alice is on one of the tracks, and we've also got Andrea on one of the tracks.
Yeah, Andrea Triana. She's an amazing singer. I also play in the Bonobo band off Ninja Tune, and Bonobo is just producing her new album, so that'll be coming out soon. So I kind of know her through the Bonobo connection, and she's got a stunning, real husky voice. One of the nicest voices around, I reckon, at the moment. And we've also got Catherine de Boer, who is the lead singer of, the singer of the Bonobo live band as well.
But also Belarus, so that's like a True Thoughts hookup as well there. So.
Yeah,
which is good, and they're all on the album as well. And then we've got Dan Swain on bass, who we've been playing with in the Alice band for the last.
One of the best bass players in London, I think. Right?
Is that it? Is that us?
Yeah. Gecko Turner.
And then we've got Gecko Turner also on the album as well, who's a hookup, who records for Love Monk Records in Spain, and I've just always been into his stuff, and because he does a lot of production and different types of singing, and it was just like a good way to hook up with the Love Monk thing as well, and like try and kind of get him involved. Although I haven't met him face to face yet, so.
Have you not?
No, it's been this whole album's been over the internet, isn't it? So.
Excellent.